Okay.
And it's not that I thought you would be mad or anything, because I mean, not at all. Like, okay, so
Are you back on the protocol?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it.
Well, I had another bottle, and I'm like,
Oh my god, that is hilarious. That's funny.
I'm like, I paid for it, and it's just sitting there. It's gonna expire, and then so the whole party thing, it was fine. Like, but when I went to get dressed, I take a shower and get dressed. Like, I just like physically feel awful, because I mean, I am, like I heard one client like, oh, I'm short. Yeah, I'm 5'4". Well, shit, I'd love to be 5'4". I'm only 5 feet tall, and I'm way heavier than like that lady, like So
yeah, but you're listening to an anorexic.
No, I mean, no, I know. I was just basically kind of like in perspective, like, okay, I am like physically just over what I should be, like, and so I feel like it's not even a matter of looks necessarily. I mean, I've accepted, like, okay, my work clothes. I went on eBay, I got some other shirts, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, but like I still I can't stay here. I can't.
Okay,
like,
so you're on the protocol. So I get that that's your limited awareness at the moment. That's totally fine. So you're on the protocol. So you're back on. So you've been on and off the protocol 3 times now in how long?
Yeah, like 3 weeks. A month, I know.
Okay, this is so this time around, what's your goal?
Okay.
Would you say your goal has changed each time you've jumped back into it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I really screwed up last time by the timing of it. And then, like, this one lady was talking how if you can't do it perfect, then it's all just a waste, and so because I was on the vacation and those 2 days when I was supposed to be on the very low, I couldn't do it perfect, and so I think that just messed everything up. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm screwing my body up even more, and I'm just this time I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give myself a little more grace, like even though I know that you really need to stick to it because of like hormonally, but this morning, I mean, like my son, like he made 4 waffles, he didn't eat 4 of them. I'm like, damn it, And I asked my other son, can you eat these too, so I don't eat them? And he's like, no, I don't want them. He's like, just throw them away. I'm like, oh, I know, it's so hard for me to throw them away. So I ate one of them and I fed the other one to the dog. But I'm like, okay, so I ate a freaking waffle, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
so move on. I'm proud to hear that you're giving yourself that grace. That's important.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
However, if you want to recover, what are you going to need to do when there's 4 leftover waffles?
Just throw them away.
Yeah. So when you get the opportunity, that was an opportunity for you.
I know.
It was. It was an awesome opportunity to go, what am I going to need to do in the future?
Right.
With food.
Right.
If I can't throw it, if I have to eat it, then I can't expect my body to not be uncomfortable, which is what you're choosing to do this for. There's a reason why it's uncomfortable. It's not doing it to you. You've done it to it. And then now you're complaining about how it feels. So you can't expect what you think and complain about is bad about the body. You can't complain. I mean, eventually you got to realize I should stop complaining because I refuse to throw 3 waffles away.
Oh, right. I did this to myself.
No
one else did it. No one else did it.
No, and it's not the body's job to make sure it fixes itself for you to be comfortable when you are refusing to do something as simple as just throw it in the trash. You're not hungry for it. It's not on the protocol. Throw it in the trash.
I have a low metabolism.
No, it's that right there. That right there is why you have what you're complaining about. So these are opportunities for you.
Right.
So it's going to happen again today. You know it. You and I both know it. You're going to have another opportunity. Multiple more times today. And you need to,
Yeah.
and it's not about restricting yourself. It's about changing the way you relate to food.
Right. And I think because for some reason I woke up and normally I wake up and I'm not hungry. For some reason this morning I woke up and I was hungry, and so I should have just drank like the little Costco protein shake.
Yeah, or had an apple, or you had tons of options.
Yeah, and so I should have just done that, and then I didn't even think to feed it. Like after I had eaten one, then I was like, oh, I could feed to the dog.
Those poor dogs should not be eating waffles. You should have put it in the trash.
I know. See, I'm just making my dogs fat.
So you have to really let's address, okay, so let's get something out of this right now. Let's address, why is it so hard to throw that away?
I don't know.
Throwing it away doesn't harm the body.
Right, and I know it's not like we're like, can't buy groceries. Like, I mean, like, we are poor or anything, so it's like I know.
Well, was it about you wanting to eat them?
Well, probably, yeah, I think, I did want like a little bite of it, and then, because I was hungry and it looked, it's sitting in my face and it looked really good, and so I just need to like, throw it away and then realize I'm hungry, so I need to get something different. And that thought went through my head, but I didn't do it.
Okay, so I want you to imagine what are you getting out of this round if you're not willing to sit with the thought.
Right. And then the thought was, and then I was like, okay, I really need to do this right, but I didn't get, I didn't beat myself up.
I know, that's awesome. That to me is a big deal. I would agree. I'm agreeing with you in that you're recognizing that's a big deal.
Yeah. Normally I would, and then the whole day would go to hell.
And then you would have quit this round again. And then we would start up in another week. No, I would agree with you. I think that's huge right there, to realize, to be that all or nothing. Like, if you're not going to follow it, it's just, of course that's actually kind of true. However, if we can take this and open your mind, okay, because that's what's happening. You got to open your mind and go, in that moment, you want that. Of course you were hungry, but if this is really about fixing your discomfort or your sense of overweight, if that's all it's about, would you have eaten that waffle?
No, because logically that's not going to get me.
No, what you're wanting to fix. So you have to look at then, it's really your emotional, this is emotional for you. This isn't about your body. It really is emotional what you're doing this for. I can't wait for this next edition to Weight Loss Apocalypse to be published. Because I go into this in the book. I go into when people do the protocol for the first time, they distance their emotions from it. It is not worth getting emotions involved because it is so risky. This could be complete shit show. And so people are more detached and they're more they honor the actual protocol because there's a level of curiosity around it. They really are allowing it to be a physical process, and they don't necessarily attach so intensely to the weight loss because you still don't trust that the weight's going to stay off in the end. So there's so limited emotion involved. Once someone goes through it and they're like, this is a miracle, and they really experience what Dr. Simeon's described in pounds and inches, now they get it all narcissistic and egoic. They attach all these emotional baggage and the fantasies, right? They're going to attach all this bullshit to it. And then for the most part, people struggle. They struggle. They might not struggle with their second round, but the rounds they begin to bring those emotional issues with their body into it, it's really hard. They can't follow it. They're not hungry. They're not following it. They quit. They start again. They quit because you're attached to that first round that was so amazing. You know, and people are like, why can't I do it? Why all of a sudden is this so hard? Why can't I just follow it? Well, it's because you're using it to appease these emotional wants and needs, and it's kind of a really restrictive. It's very restrictive. It's extremely restrictive. And so when you are doing something so radical for some superficial emotional need, it just feels like shit. It feels punishing. It feels depriving.
Yeah, see, I don't. Luckily, I don't feel punished, and
Okay, well, that's because you're feeding yourself right now. Okay, just keep that in mind. You ate that waffle this morning, so it doesn't feel punishing because you're still cheating on it. I'm curious, though, what would happen if you held yourself to it over the course of the next few days. If that feeling of punishment would arise. Remember that last round? How you just were like, I just can't do this. This is too much. Right?
Yeah, I actually, I kind of had this like aversion to chicken, and
totally. Those shakes from Costco really help, don't they?
Yeah, I love those. And
it's called Premier Protein. Premier Protein. Can you hold on a second? I'm going to run to my garage and grab one because I want to show it on this video. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm back. Okay. So, why not? Because I know people are like, what? You can find them at Sam's Club, Walmart.
Yeah, and they have the
Costco.
caramel flavor now. And
yeah, how's the caramel?
So it's good. I mean, so that's what I use to put a little in my coffee.
This is one Dr. Simeon's protein serving. One. You're not going to want to drink it all at once, too, because it's liquid. So it does, some people drink it all at once and then they're like, I was so uncomfortable. I was so full. And it's like, well, you're on the protocol, so that HCG is inflaming your body, assuming you have enough fat to do it. And some people can't even get through one whole one.
Oh, see, so, I could.
And the only reason why I've even recommended this is because it was years of observing people, over 3 years, monitoring people's size, weight, shape, blood pressure, and hunger and satiation. I could see that it wasn't really impacting their anything, as long as you drank it to hunger and ate to hunger. So, anyways, so a lot of people send me, what about this? And they'll send me as. And I'm like, I don't even want to say yes, even if it could work, because I'm literally monitored hundreds of people in multiple hundreds of rounds with this, doing all this testing without.
Yeah. What I'm curious about is the apples. I'm like, I almost feel guilty eating the apple because I'm like, okay, apples have it's supposed to have I guess it's because you don't have to have low carbs, it's low fat, right?
Yeah, why would you have any guilt with an apple? Think of that emotion. Just think about that.
I think I was thinking that you needed to be in ketosis.
No, my God, no. Okay. And that is so, again, I want you to answer this question. Should anybody on this planet experience the emotion of guilt eating an apple?
No.
Okay, I'm so glad you're giggling because it's like that right there is what's messed up about the diet industry. Guilt around an apple. Yeah. Really? Guilt.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, so, because last night I was I had dinner. I had my chicken and asparagus, which then I was like, this is really good. Actually, I was like, it's better than what I thought it would be. And then I was sitting up there watching TV, and I wish I could just go to bed at 9 o'clock, but I wasn't tired, and so I'm sitting there, and then that's when I always want something, and I'm telling myself, I knew, okay, I'm not really hungry. I just wanted just to have it, So I go down, and I only had one on my one apple, yesterday. So I'm like, so I cut it up in little slices, and then I usually just have a cup of decaf coffee, and then that was perfectly fine. So
So I want to challenge you to doing the best you can. I'm not going to ask you to do more than you can. Just the best that you can to follow the protocol. And here's our intention. Okay, we're gonna there's a reason why. And I do not care about your weight, hormones. I don't give a shit, because to me, none of that matters anyways. It doesn't matter to you. Okay, it matters in terms of the science behind the physiology of what's going on, but when it comes to actually getting you to follow this crap, your weight doesn't matter. You won't follow it. No matter how much you want to complain about your weight, you're not going to follow the round. Even though it can provide you the luxury body you think you want, you're not going to follow it, right? So what I want to do then while you're on this is I want you to experience what comes up if you follow the protocol. What comes up? Okay. Now, for this to work, you're going to have to not weigh yourself. We don't want it to be about your weight. We want it to be about what comes up. So, for example, this morning, let's use this morning as an example. If you had sat there with a waffle in your hand, almost eating it, but then you went, no, I'm putting it in the trash, and you threw it in the trash, or you put it down the disposal, right?
Yeah.
Something would have come up. Something would have come up. Punishment, it would have, I don't know. I want to find out. I want you to find out. I want you to be curious. What emotion is going to come up when I choose not to feed that impulse desire to eat? Just the impulse of it.
Yeah.
And you sit with it. You sit with it. Why? What's the point of that? I want to question. You could eat the waffle, but pause. Give it time just to focus on why first. Mm-hmm. Why do I want to eat this? What is it going to do for me? What's it doing for me? Understand it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Did you get the workbook in the mail? I think you did, didn't you? Didn't I? Okay.
Yeah.
So start filling that out with your hunger rhythm on the protocol, because you've got the 2 proteins on the very low calorie protocol daily log.
Yes.
In chapter 3. I think it's
3,
the 3rd. Yep. I want you to just put in there, 8 waffle because, and then I want you to really focus on why. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want you to feel bad. I don't want you to feel like you've done something wrong. I think you've figured that out, that if you do that, this is over. You're not going to finish the round. You would have binged all day today.
Right.
Nothing's been ruined. Nothing.
Yeah.
So go throughout the rest of the day. Wait till you're hungry. Have, focus on Dr. Simeon's protocol, and let's make the intention of this round. Let's change the intention from losing weight. Let's change it.
Okay, yeah.
I want you to focus this round on changing how you relate to food. Number 1, to not have shame and guilt. You should not be feeling guilty about a fucking apple, okay?
Right. I mean, well, it's not okay. I guess the.
And notice how. Hold on a second. Notice how you were like, oh, I just felt guilty eating the apple, but not eating a waffle.
Right. Yeah. What the hell?
I know.
Well, I guess okay. It wasn't like I felt guilty eating the apple. I think I was confused with what I thought. Like I was like, oh well, apples, they're not low in carbs, And so I was thinking that you needed to be in ketosis for this.
But they're high in fiber, and they actually have nutrition. I mean, again, the whole concept of ketosis is based around your desire to lose the fat.
Right.
Get that out of here. It's never worked for you.
True.
So why keep on why keep on approaching it that way when it never works? Ever.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do it that way anyways. Do you really want to not ever eat an apple again for the rest of your life, really?
No.
Okay, so get rid of the whole concept. Just get rid of it. The protocol is the protocol. It is done for you. It is set for you. You are to follow it. You can have apples. You can have oranges. You can have strawberries. Mm-hmm. You can have half a grapefruit. Follow. Yeah. There's a food list at the back of that workbook. Follow that. You don't have to have chicken.
Right. You can have, I had
shrimp,
highlighted things.
tilapia.
And I got the beef jerky, even I have just for something different. And tuna.
Hey.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, I want you to accept right now it's bland. Just accept it. Know that. I am choosing to follow this hormonal medical procedure, and it is temporary. It is temporary. Potato.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of telling myself. Like, shit, I can do anything for 30 days. Like, seriously, like, get off your...
I want you to think 21. Don't even go 30 days. Just shorten it. I want you to commit to 21. That's it. Why do you think I would say that?
So it's not like a super hard expectation or
I'm lowering it.
Unrealistic.
Correct. You haven't even made it a week yet. So just go to 3 weeks. If you get to 3 weeks, take it a day at a time at that point.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Take it a day at a time right now.
Right.
Let alone to say you have to commit to 30 days. No, you do not have to commit to 30 days. If you get to 3 weeks and you've actually done this round with the intention that we've set to learn more about your relationship with food, screw the weight. If it means you got to eat a waffle, I don't care. But to take 3 weeks and to... Because you know what? Once you've done that, and let's just say you do have a physical change. You lost 15 pounds. Well, you got to transition off this protocol. You're gonna have to get back in the real world.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's when shit's gonna get thrown in your face.
Right.
So you have to really open your mind to the big picture of how you need to be able to eat in the real world so that food is not so important. Do you really want food to be this important to you to where you can't throw a waffle in the trash?
No, I don't.
So let's focus on that.
To have control over me. So, I give it too much control.
No, you're the one in control. You're the one who's making these choices. Food is not doing that. Do not blame the food. It is you.
Yeah.
You're the one who's struggling to put it in the trash. Okay? The waffle is not having a hard time going in the trash. It's you.
Yes, that's true.
So look at it from, I need to look at myself. I need to look at myself. It's not about losing weight. Now, if you make it about losing weight, you're going to keep on doing what you've always done.
Right. Okay, I won't weigh.
Well, and you and I both know if you fixate on that, you're going to seriously bend your brains out when this is over.
Right.
Yeah, and you're going to gain it all back anyway, so you might as well just give it up.
Mm-hmm.
Give that part up. Let the protocol handle all that. I've done this a lot. So what I'm trying to get you to do is to shift your purpose and intention. I know you've already intended to lose the weight that you're disgusted by and cannot accept, but you're not taking any responsibility in that.
Right.
So my shift is to go, no, you're the problem.
Yes.
You, not the body, not the weight. The weight isn't even a problem.
Right.
You don't really have a problem.
It is. It's who's controlling the show.
Yeah, you're the one who refused to put the waffle in the trash because of whatever reason, and we won't know until you don't do it.
Right.
Because you're just doing it. You're feeding the impulse, and you're like, I don't know, I just ate it. Oh, well, great. I'm glad you didn't feel bad about it. That's huge. It is a big deal. It is a big deal. The next step is to pause when you have those moments. Those are really important moments for you.
Okay. So just write all this stuff down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want you to be OCD about it, but I get it. You need to be curious about it, though. Like, how often am I hungry? And how often am I justifying food consumption when I'm not hungry, or justifying food that's not on the protocol? Because there's a reason why you're justifying that food. There's a reason. And not only that, but there's a reason you justify that food that is bigger and better and more important than the reason you justify trying to lose weight on the protocol.
Yeah. There's a reason why I always give in to my impulsivity.
That's because it is more important to you. Right? So the impulsive drive to do the protocol, that's because losing weight was more important to you than food. But then in reality, food's more important to you than the weight loss. Right? And so we have to look at why. Why is this so important to you? Of course, there is the foundation of you being a human that we can't change. Food is necessary for survival, and we're wired to want to feel safe and good with food. We are wired to it. And maybe some of this is you realizing too, when this is over, I just want to feel good with food. I just want to feel that I have food. Yeah. It might not be that complicated.
Yeah, that's true.
It could be that this whole concept of dieting, again, remember when I said to you, you might have to lower your standards, meaning higher your weight standard, because what it's going to require is triggering this animal need to feed yourself. So it's not realistic.
Right. And I think I'm willing to do that, just not to like where I'm at now.
That's fine. That's fine. But you have to look at how you got to where you're at now.
Yeah, that sounds like I went crazy.
I know, like right? To me, it's not at all. To me, it's like super predictable. You know? That's why to me it's so forgivable. It's like, this is so predictable, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You just need to give yourself some space to figure that out. You know, because you're being run by it, right? You're just being run by it. And of course, these are your decisions that you're making. And you're the one who says, I can't do it. But at the same time, you're the one that's also saying, but I need the waffle. So you have two things conflicting with each other.
Right. And I think that's why, like, I've felt so confused, you know, because I have been just going back and forth, you know, and I listen
I need
to
my food.
All the stuff you say, and I'm like, I know what I need to do, but I can't do it.
I know. Well, that's okay. I understand that feeling. I do. And there was a time where I think if I were you, I would do the same thing. So I really do feel like I understand.
Yeah.
You know, it took me getting really bad for me to finally do what it was necessary, you know. And so I truly believe that you impulsively going back on this round is a part of the process. Mm-hmm. I do. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think that this is all positioning you to at some point recover.
Right. It takes it's a journey.
It is. I know. I'm not going to judge the journey. I went on the same damn one, you know. So I know. That's why I'm like, I so get it. I so get it. When you are not there, it's like, this is, I think, too, really part of the hard part of the process is so many people listen to my YouTube videos. They hear people who are recovered and they want that. Oh, I don't want to think about my weight all the time. I don't want this running my life anymore. I cannot stand constantly worrying about food. Feeling guilty for having an apple. That is so ridiculous. Like, that is what my life is really like. I feel guilty eating an apple. You know, and they get to where they want freedom. But what they don't realize is to get that freedom, you have to surrender what you get out of dieting. The reason why you're dieting. The reason why you feel guilty eating an apple. You have to surrender the reason why you felt the ketosis. You have to surrender ketosis. You have to say, I don't want ketosis because I don't want to feel guilty about an apple.
Right.
And so you have to get up. What does ketosis do for you? You know, it's like there's the object. Ketosis. When you squeeze the object, what comes out? Thinness. Well, when you squeeze thinness, what comes out? Superiority. When you squeeze superiority, what do you get? I feel lovable inside. you can see what the meaning and the symbolism of all of it. And it's not the thinness you have to give up. It's the symbolism that you have to give up.
Right, and when I hear you talk like so much about like the soul and all this, and I totally get it. I totally
You
get
it intellectually, yeah. It's not,
Yeah.
you don't get it from the inside. Because if
But
you
when
did,
say-
you would stop what
Right.
you're doing. It's just so dumb.
Right.
Right.
Because when
But
you say I could live in a 500-pound body, I couldn't.
yeah,
I
yeah. So you get it intellectually. So that's different than
Yeah.
getting it from within side of what it is. You hear it and you're
Right.
like, okay, I could see that, but I need to be thin. That means you don't get it, right?
Right.
Because you think that being thinner changes everything. You don't get that it doesn't do anything. It's just, but it does do something, and so you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. That I have no doubt about it.
It's like the same. You say, okay, I could live with no legs. I could live with being bald. Like I couldn't. Like
yeah. Well, that's because you see that you need a condition to be alive. So you're not seeing that the condition of the body has nothing to do with life, right? That's okay.
Right.
You will see that at some point.
I think it's like I'm not a spiritual or religious person. I never have been. So I think that's a little deep I'm like, oh gosh, like intellectually I get it, but
is it really that deep though? If you really think about it, is it really that deep? I mean, think about it this way. Right now, when you think of identity, just identity, how you identify yourself. How are you identifying yourself?
Right, I guess I never even thought about it before.
It's not that deep. It's actually really superficial.
Yeah.
It's like surface. That's a surface thought. How am I identifying myself? You just never questioned it.
Right. I guess that's exactly. I've never. Okay, so it's not deep. I've never gone.
Correct. That's what I'm seeing. To you, it's deep because you've never thought.
Exactly. That's it.
You never questioned that. Holy shit.
It's not deep, but it is for me because I've never gone there.
Yeah. Well, let's do it. I mean, this is really simple. I could tell you what I identified myself by. I identified myself as a religion, as a ninth child in a family of 10, as a girl, as an athlete, as someone who is physically more capable than most human beings, as was faster than everybody, faster than the boys. I could jump high. I could grab the hoop of a basketball rim. I could slam a volleyball down in front of the 5 foot, 10 foot line every fucking time without a blocker. My hands, I mean, just see how much physical, like that's Robin. You see how that's so superficial? It's all physical too. And the idea of the religion wasn't even intrinsic. It was told to me. I memorized it and became it.
Right. Yeah.
I am pretty. I have green eyes. I'm green eyes, right? But am I really? So when you really think about it, how you've identified you could say is by weird superficial concepts. If you go into what it is we're actually experiencing, when you experience yourself, okay, what are you actually experiencing? You're experiencing your environment, right?
Yeah.
You're in a space, whether it's at the gym, whether it's at a church, whether it's in your house, whether your room, outside on a walk, you're experiencing a space that's around you. Are you that space? Did you make that space? No. So then there's an awareness, right? You're aware, you're experiencing where you're at. And don't you agree there is an awareness? We want to use the word aware. You're aware that there is a sense of me experiencing it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you were to ask how I define myself, I think the things that come to mind aren't the superficial things.
Okay, I want to go back into what I just said, and then we'll go back into what you just said. What you are experiencing in reality is your environment and a sense of me. Okay, there is a sense of me or I that is experiencing it or witnessing it. Mm-hmm. I am in this kitchen. I am in front of, so there's a sense of me experiencing this conversation with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't even create whatever that is. I just am witnessing it. I didn't create the awareness that I have. Did I create that awareness?
No.
No. So it's not even my awareness. It is an awareness. It is what it is. It's just, and I had no say in it at all. Here I am. Okay.
Right.
So there's that, which is very truthful. And then there is this concept of Robin. And it's usually a concept I want to promote socially with others. How I am different than you, right? I have red, brown hair. I'm 40 years old. I have freckles. I cut my fingers close off a month ago. So you know what I mean? So I'm attaching to these as my life, right? So you see how we attach. It's really not that complicated. In fact, it's really elementary. It's simple. It's simpler than you could imagine, really. I am a sense of me experiencing reality. Whether it's experiencing a car wreck, experiencing school, experiencing someone saying hi, experiencing my dogs barking really loud. There's a sense of me experiencing that.
Yeah, I can see that. And everyone's going to be different because they experience different things.
Well, the experience is the same. They interpret it differently. And they also do experience different things that's out of their control, correct?
Like someone might travel, I've never experienced that.
Yeah.
Like
someone might win the lottery. Someone might
or jump out of an airplane.
Yeah, someone might lose their child.
Yeah.
You got it. So there is an experiencer in there that is sense of me that is witnessing it. How we feel about it, however, is usually based on our beliefs and then our feelings about it. But anyway, so I would say with me, there was definitely a sense of desire in that experience. Like there's a will in there around navigating this experience. So not only am I experiencing what I am experiencing, whether I like it or not, but there is a sense of free will around creating an experience. I want to experience college. I did. I want to experience a dog. I have a dog, right? So there is some free will in what I'm experiencing. Right? So you can say there's a bunch you don't have free will, and there's a bunch you do.
Right. You can make many choices.
Yeah. And what drives, what's driving that is an inner sense of joy. What drives how I relate to people is the inner sense of peace. There's a peacefulness in there. Did I create that? No, it just is. It is just there. It's always been there. Do I want rainbows and unicorns? No, it just is a sense or feeling that exists. It was there when I was born. It just is. It's for whatever reason, I want to have fun. There's a fun sense in there with that experience. So that often drives what I do with my free will of my experience in life. So again, who am I? Do I really know?
No.
I know. It's kind of hard to say. Who am I? So what was your answer?
Well, I guess it's basically like when I think of the core, like when you're thinking like, okay, the soul or the core of me, I don't really think, oh, I'm female, blonde hair, blue eyes, like I think like I'm caring, I'm nurturing, I'm compassionate, I'm a nurse, I'm the mother.
Well, those are things that express those feelings. They express them. The feelings exist, and then your nursing is a way to express the feeling that was there before you were a nurse.
Right.
That makes sense? So you could say the experiencer, so the me that's experiencing this life really loves the feeling of that experience. There's a sense of lovingness in experiencing caretaking. There's something you like about caring for people. So you're creating that experience for yourself by becoming a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
You're not waiting for it to happen to you. You're going to get it.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't like, yeah, like there's, I guess, that's why people do different things. Like I would not want to be gosh, I don't know, many things, like
Well,
an aerospace engineer.
Well, it doesn't do stuff for you.
No.
It doesn't mean that but you can see, like in your husband, that there's something that he really enjoys or expresses. It's expressing that inner, witness of life in there, the him that's in that, the he or I that's in him, that's witnessing and experiencing the environment, is driven to do that. It likes it.
He was so excited about that, like shooting that rocket into space or whatever, and it, like, I don't know, it was a little.
Well, and all this science with gravitational waves and stuff is super cool. It's so fucking cool. It's super cool.
He's like, you gotta see this, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, so see, he's the witness in him is like, he's amazed by the world and what he's witnessing. So can you see where that's no different than yours? It's the same feeling of joy. It just comes from him. It's in something different.
Right.
But it's the same feeling of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Same. Just that's what does it for him.
Yeah.
So this isn't that deep.
Yeah, that's true.
So a lot of problems occur, however, when you believe that the feeling of experience comes from something outside of your actual experience. So, for example, I believe that I will feel happiness when the body I'm in is thin. Well, okay.
Oh, I see.
Well, that happiness now requires for you to experience it, you be thin. Even though you're the creator of that, you're the chooser in that. It's not like the body is wired in your brain and in your soul to only respond to happiness with thinness. See, it's an illusion, right? Because you could still experience happiness if you weren't thin. You could still, you just have to let go of what you think the thinness gives you that creates happiness. And it's not thinness that creates happiness. It's what you symbolize thinness to be.
Right, and I think, like, with going to the party, and enjoying it, not feeling like everyone's staring at me, like I was totally comfortable, like it was perfectly fine. And so then I think I can realize, like, I think even if I went to Hawaii right now, I would have fun.
Yeah, you would.
I just don't, like, in my mind I'm thinking like, oh gosh, like I've always been just so self-conscious, so if I just let that go and just, then I know I would have fun, like, once I got there.
Well, yeah, once it's not about you and it's about the place you're going.
Mm-hmm.
See, so the problem is that you're taking that witness and saying the only way for me to actually witness Hawaii is if this body's thin. Do you see how ridiculous that sounds?
It's absurd, yes.
Okay, so that's what I meant by when earlier you were saying, I just can't do that. I get it, but I can't. No, you don't get it, because you think that being thinner is what gives you access to Hawaii. Hawaii is Hawaii. That experience and the witness in within you that is aware of the environment is no different. Whether, even if you were in a wheelchair, it would be witnessed the same way.
Yes, right.
Now you're getting it.
Exactly.
Now you're getting it.
I want to go and force myself to do more things.
So you just leave the jail cell. That's the goal. You get out of jail.
To realize
leave
that
the jail cell.
It doesn't really matter.
No, you can.
I've always thought it mattered.
Nope. You just start ignoring your weight. You just ignore it.
Yeah,
because it doesn't really change your experience. It doesn't. It's not.
Right, or it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Doesn't. It only does when you believe it does. Now you're filtering and taking that source of life and taking it outside of yourself and saying, I can't experience or witness life unless I'm in a specific car.
Right.
And then your whole life is on pause. Even though the ability to
yeah.
witness life is always there. It's infinite. You just chose to not witness it because you're judging the body that's providing it for you.
Yeah, it's really, if you think about it, it's so sad because I've wasted so much
Life.
time. You
Yeah,
know? Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
Now you're getting a little bit of a different connection to that, aren't you? It's like,
Yeah,
holy,
like
what?
I can't ever get that back. You know, it's like when you're working and working and working, like when your kids are little, you know, and you can never get that time back. You know.
Nope. No, and you just have to accept it and
Yeah,
go, well,
yeah.
damn, if I knew I'd been more present, but I didn't know, so you can't feel bad about it.
Right. I mean, I'd rather like fix it now than when I'm 80.
Totally.
You know?
On your deathbed, I'm sorry.
At least I can like, you know, at least my retirement years will be like awesome.
Right, just imagine going back to, just witness, just being the witness of it all. Just being like, I'm going to live in a body on this planet and I'm going to witness how this species interacts with each other and what they do for fun. I mean, if you think about it, humans, as I'm talking as one myself, we're the weirdest animal on this planet. We're so weird. We're weird.
Oh, we are.
Right? But
rabbits are even weirder.
I know, but we make music. I mean, humans create music, which to me is super amazing. And we try to leave the planet. We try to leave the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, we're so weird. And why can't you just be here?
They just get eaten. They
right?
don't want to get eaten.
Let's just enjoy, like we create sod and grass. We decorate our nature. You know, we're funny nesters. What we do when we're nesting. You know, I have a little bird that was my mom's. Her name is Sunny. She's a canary. And she nests and broods and I love watching her. I'm just like
no, that's like like what I was talking about.
She's working so hard to get this string out and she's obsessed about it. And I'm like, I've been there. I've so been there.
Yeah.
You know?
So we had bunnies. We had lot bunnies and we don't anymore, but
yeah.
I love lot bunnies and
I had a lot bunny growing up.
Oh God, and my one my male, you know, his bonded mate passed away, and so I was trying to give him a new girlfriend, and so I was trying to bond them, and just watching them, I'm like, this is so bizarre. Like they're dating, like they're, oh my gosh, it was just crazy. Like she would go up to him, and he would like just turn around and run away, like he was like,
I'm not gonna see her.
It was hilarious.
Okay, like, see that right there. You're cohabitating with another animal, and you're witnessing and watching, and you know they're doing it their way. You know what does the body losing 20 pounds have to do with that?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
It's just so awesome. Like
again, experiencing Hawaii. Just going to experience an island, tropical island, on this planet. Do you really need to? Is it really about you being thin enough? Is that what the experience is about? No.
Do
you see what I'm saying? It's so self-centered. You're experiencing your self-centeredism in that, and you're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole point.
Right, and I want to now. I want to experience life and
the only way you're going to do that is to let go of your grip around your weight. Stop. Yeah. Because that grip is focusing on your weight. Do you really want to take that focus? Because we could say there is a focus inside of what we're aware of. There is a focus. But do we want to have to control what we're looking at? Or can we just open ourselves up to experience it and let it come to us?
Yeah, and so that's why I kind of felt like, I was asking one of the doctors, like, do you backpack? And he's like, oh, yeah, I backpack all over the world. I was like, I think I'd like to try that, like, I think I just needed to do more things, try new things. And
I would agree, but how do you do that when the one thing you do is always trying to make you thin, and then it's constantly aggravating that animal need to feed? So all you do is want food too. So it's like you can't even, you're stuck in your survival.
Yeah, I think if I just realize, like by looking at times when I have gone and it wasn't all about my body and weight or whatever, then just like let it go and then like do more things, not hide in the house all the time,
Yeah, you're actually witnessing reality. You're enjoying life. That's what you're doing. You're actually enjoying life as it's occurring and as a witness of it from this central weird space within us that is experiencing life from the viewpoint of me. There's a me witnessing. We have this weird, and that ultimately is the only true thing about you. Everything else you could say is a facade. Trying to change the way you look, that's all an illusion. That's like wasting that emphasis on life on something so ridiculous so other people could witness you in a way they think you're witnessed. Like, it's like, what?
Right.
You can't even do that. They're witnessing it the way they want to witness you. So whether anyway, so just a thought on that you need to contemplate that. And what weight loss really does is nothing. It's an illusion that it's going to give you that freedom to be in life, when in reality it's given you nothing but torture.
Right. And I think like this coming Saturday, like my husband was going to, there's something down at the bay that like they just do this kayak thing and my natural instinct was, I'll stay home, like
you should go.
That's your thing. But then when I was at that party was these kayak club people, it was like this kind of group and I was like, yeah, I could go and do my paddleboard, which I loved in Hawaii. So we when we got back, we got 2 of them, and I like that. And so I'm like, yeah, just if I just go and do it and then realize like, I like enjoy the water and the,
so take this viewpoint we're talking about and apply it to that. Why would you pass that up?
I know. I don't
because you have to be thin first? Because only thin people can enjoy that?
Right.
Well, if that's the case, all you're focusing on is your thinness. You don't get to enjoy the paddleboard even if you were on it. You only enjoy your thinness.
Right. I want to focus on something different. Yeah.
Yeah. So you let go of the thinness so that your mind and that experiencer, the witness of what we're experiencing, can actually witness life rather than the body that you have to focus on.
Yeah. And I kept going back and forth like, oh, no, I won't go. Oh, and then, no, I will go.
Okay, so I want you to go with this frame of mind.
Yeah.
I am the witnesser, the me in me that is experiencing life, my life. I'm going to go. Yeah. Why wouldn't I take that option? Especially if you know you like the paddleboard. The kayak would make me vomit. I would totally get seasick. You said that, and I was like, "Oh my god, I would vomit."
It was like when I first met me and when my husband and I were dating, like we did all these things together, and so that's like I think it would help my marriage too, because like that's the person he fell in love with, and then
so you have to let go of your thinness and maybe hold on to your marriage. Maybe you need to really focus in on what's important right now. Is your thinness really that important? Really?
No, he just wants me to do things with him.
I know, exactly. Yeah. So let go of the thinness as your focus and focus on just experiencing life now with the body you have now.
Yeah.
Now, like there's no reason for you to put your life on hold to fix the body when the body is working perfectly for you. To be aware and conscious of what you're witnessing.
Yeah.
There is no limits.
Exactly. I totally realize. I'm realizing that.
Good. Good.
Yes.
Okay, let's schedule for you and I to follow up.
Okay.